Hi everyone, it's Lacey. If you're going to want to do some oversplits with me later, I recommend that you grab a block, a chair, or a foam roller. We're going to start seated on our toes, so tuck your toes under and sit back. And now we're just going to roll out our wrists. And switch directions. Now release your arms down and start rolling your shoulders backward. And now roll your shoulders forward. Cross your right arm over your chest and use your left hand to pull it in. And switch arms. I know your feet are on fire, so we're going to lean forward a little bit, take a tiny break while we work on our wrists some more. So lifting up onto your fingertips and back down. And now flip your wrists back so that your fingers are facing your knees. And you can start to sit back as far as you can. Now flip your hands forward and you get to untuck your toes. So just untuck them, pat them out on your mat, get some more blood flow into there. This should feel very good after that. Continuing with our wrists, flip them in so that your fingertips are facing each other and the back of your hands are down to the mat. We're going to do these little push-ups. From here, flip your hands back over and now sit back on your heels. We're going to do some seated cat and cows. So hands on your hips, push your chest and your rib cage forward, arch your back, and then reverse. Now come back onto all fours, and we're going to do cat and cow here. So arch back, and then arch forward. Come back to a neutral spine. Now separate your knees and sit back into a child's pose. Keeping your knees where they are, just come up with your upper body, and now place your right hand on your left knee and your left hand behind you. We're just going to do a simple spinal stretch. And now reverse the twist, go to the other side. Now come back to center, get back onto your hands and knees, and push yourself up into a downward dog. So your hips are high, and your chest is moving through your shoulders. You can start pedaling out your feet, so bending one leg at a time, getting a deeper stretch in the calf muscle of the straight leg. Walk your feet up a little bit and separate them so that they're on the edges of your mat, and you're going to twist. So right hand to the outside of your left leg, and just twist your upper body here. Come back to center and twist to the other side. So your left leg, or sorry, your left hand on your right leg this time. And come back to center. Get back into a regular downward dog so your feet closer together and a little further back. Stretch back one more time. Now lift up onto your toes and ripple forward into a plank. We're going to do scapula push-ups, so just dropping the upper part of your back between your shoulder blades. You're keeping your arms straight. Now come down onto your belly. You're going to stretch your left arm out directly beside you and take your right leg and you're going to cross it over behind you. So this is a stretch for your spine, but it's also a good stretch for your shoulder. I'll bring that leg back over so that you're laying down on your belly again. Bring that left arm in, stretch out your right arm, left leg comes up and over the right leg. Little spinal twist. Roll back onto your belly and now push yourself up so that you're on your knees. We're going to do camel here. So separate your knees about hip distance apart, hands and fists on the base of your spine here. Look up and slowly start bending backward. When you've reached your limit, you're going to drop your hands down and they can grab your calves, they can grab your feet, you can grab the floor, if that's easier, if you have longer arms. I have very short arms. Make sure you breathe here. Come out of it by placing your fist back on the base of your spine and slowly rolling up so that your head is last. From here, stretch your arms out long in front of you and now sink your chest and sink your armpits and get down into a puppy pose with your hips still high. Clasp your hands together and bend your elbows with your hands behind your head. This increases the stretch a little bit. If you don't want to do this, if you felt perfectly fine in a normal puppy pose, stay there. Place your hands back down and shift your body forward so that you're now in a Sphinx pose. You can rock from side to side. I always like to get some movement in this pose. Just try to roll your shoulders back. Push your chest forward through your arms. Bend one knee in. Just feel that different kind of stretch in your back. Place it down, bend the other knee in. It's very gentle and very subtle. And place that down. Now bring your upper body down. Also, place your hands out long beside you, tent your fingers, and start rolling up your spine into a seal, and then roll back down. So starting from the bottom of your spine all the way up to your head, leading with your head, going all the way down. Now this time up, you're going to hold it. You can place your hands flat down, walk them in toward you. Try to get as deep as you can, and once you're comfortable there, you can start to look back. We're going to do a couple of full circles with our head here, so to the right first and all the way back. And one more time, and then reverse it and go the other way. Now come back onto your belly and push back once again into a child's pose. Now bring yourself up and just come to seated on your mat and get into a wide leg straddle, just as far as is comfortable for you today. Shake your legs out a little, bending your knees. And we're going to flex and point our toes. So flex and point, flex and point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point. Keep going at your own pace. Point your toes, clasp your hands together in front of you, stretch your arms out and up overhead. Now release your hands down. They can rest on your legs as you start rocking your hips forward and back. So you should feel every time you move forward, it feels a little more comfortable. You feel like you can go a little deeper. But you're trying to do this as gently as possible. Now just come up and point your toes, arms stretched out. And you're going to lean over to your left side first, come back up, go over to your right, come back up, lean again to the left, back up, to the right. Again, you can do these at your own pace. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going here. And now this time when you go over, you're going to hold it. Try to grab your opposite foot. If you can't reach it, don't try to grab it. You don't want to roll your shoulder forward. You got to make sure it's rolling backward. We can see your face. Come up, arms stretched out, and now stretch over to the other side. Come back up from that side, and now you're going to stretch both arms to the center. Lean forward, starting with your hips. Make sure your knees are still facing the ceiling, and just go as far as you can. Come back up. Now place your legs together and shake them out again. We're going to go into a pigeon on our right side, so bending your right leg in, your left leg out long behind you. Try to have a 90-degree angle with your foot and your knee. Bend in your back leg and pull it in towards you. Release your back leg. And now we're going to move into pigeon on the other side. So bend in your left leg. Try to get a 90-degree angle from your foot to your knee. And just try to get comfortable here. Bend in your back leg and pull it in toward you. Release that. Come back to center and now come up to a kneeling position. We're going to get into a lunge. So we'll do left leg first. So lunge, and then you're going to push your hips back into a little half split, lunge, half split, lunge. Do this a few times at your own pace. And now hold your lunge down. Take your hands up. Now place your hands on the mat and shift your hips back so that you're in a half split. Flex your left toes and sink your body down onto your leg as far as you can. From here, we're going to go into long pyramid. So straighten both legs. And again, folding forward over your front leg. Now bend into your left knee and go into a low lunge, placing your right knee down. And from here, if you can, go down onto your elbows. And come up, and now we're going to get ready to go into our splits. I want to do a big oversplit. So I'm going to set myself up here with two props for my hands, and the chair is for my leg. You can go into whatever split you like. If you're not in the splits, obviously just go down as far as you can. Place your left leg forward and sink down. I'm not going to be holding this as long as I would just a regular split because it's not very comfortable, but the feeling I get when I release into a regular split from this is unlike any other. It feels so good. And wherever you are, I know we've been holding it for a while. It's time to finally come out. You can shake out your legs a little bit here before we move into the lunges on our right side. So placing your right leg forward, come down into a lunge and then back into a half split, down and back, down and back, down and back, down and hold. Place your hands down and stretch back into your half split, flexing your right foot and folding forward over your leg. Now straighten both legs into a long pyramid pose. Rebend your right knee and come down into your lunge, going down onto your elbows if that's accessible to you. Come out of that and now prep yourself to go into the splits on this side. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side to try to be as even as possible. If you're not in your splits yet, you can use these props as well, or anything you want to use, a book, a pillow, anything that helps elevate you, your upper body, to make it easier for you to get into your split. And come out of it. Again, shake out your legs. Cross one leg over, do a little spinal twist. Cross the other leg over, do a little spinal twist. Now roll down onto your back. Stretch your arms and legs out long. Try to make your body as long as you possibly can. And then relax. We don't usually end in Shavasana in my routines, but this is where I'm going to leave you. Feel free to stay for as long as you like. Thank you so much again for joining me. If you liked this video, please like it. If you want to share it with somebody you think would like it, that would be great. Subscribe to this channel. I post every single week. I hope you feel great today. Have a good one.